evening, everybody. Welcome to Zoom at 8. My name is Julianne Peterson, and I am your host every Tuesday night for Zoom at 8. You know, we have been doing this for over 4.5 years. I mean, we've been gathering, we've closed over 200 million loans in this room. I mean, that is amazing. So if you are new and you don't have a Rolodex, which some of you are too young to even know what a Rolodex is, you can find your people here. We've got sponsors, we've got investors, we have deals, we have, you know, people that are experts in the industry, which we have 3 weeks out of the month. We have an industry expert come and tell you how to do things in multifamily. So today, I'm excited to have you understand what is going on with AI. Tonight's the night. If you are thinking about ChatGPT and some of the other deals that are happening out there in AI, tonight is going to really reveal some interesting and exciting information with ClikAI. So, but before we get there, I want to introduce to you my sponsors, my partners. We have some great people, and again, this is the place to be building your resume and building your partnership. So first and foremost, we've got Mark Gross in the house. Mark is with CSSI, and these guys are all about cost segregation. So Mark, please introduce yourself.
Sure. Thank you very much, Julianne. I'm Mark Gross, as she indicated, from CSSI. That's Cost Segregation Services. What we do is provide accelerated depreciation studies, which helps you reduce or eliminate your federal tax liability. And I'm Chicago-based, but I work on projects nationwide, from Hawaii to Florida, New England, do more in Texas than anywhere, because there's just a lot going on in Texas. And all property types, not just multifamily. I'll put my information in the chat if you'd like to know more about that. And if you missed the old Capitol event last week, or you need to get there.
Yeah, they missed out, right?
Yeah,
every year Old Capitol does a conference, and we just had it last week, so you got to wait a whole nother year. And this is where real good investors and companies, brokers, come and make some real differences to you. So let's get on with the show. Everybody, again, thank you so much for being here tonight. We are excited about tonight's speaker and the demo that he's going to do. As you all know, the AI world is expanding like crazy. It's on fire. So when I was introduced to Parag Goswami, it made sense for me to get him in front of you guys, because this is what is happening. You got to know, and a lot of us are underwriters, and this is specifically for underwriting deals in multifamily. Okay, so Parag is the CEO and co-founder of ClikAI, Clik.ai. It's an AI-powered SaaS, which is software as a service platform for real estate investment analysis and underwriting. All of us need help with that, or most of us. The top 5 US-based mortgage banks use Clik.ai, along with 40 brokerage shops and institutional investors like Marcus and Millichap, Newmark, Bellwether, Colliers. They all automate their real estate investment analysis and underwriting workflows with Clik.ai. So before starting this, Parag was a co-founder of an analytics company doing knowledge processing, outsourcing, business focused primarily on the mortgage due diligence and risk analysis for mortgage-backed securities. So he's a computer engineer, graduate from IIT in India, and holds a master's degree in quantitative finance. Clik.ai is headquartered in Toronto, and they have 30 plus employees across these offices that are in Toronto, New York, and India. So I am thrilled to honor our time with Parag today. If you would all make sure that you go up and give Parag all of your attention by clicking on the 9 little dots that say speaker view. So Parag, welcome to Zoom at 8. How are you tonight?
I'm great. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm super glad to be here. And just like all of you ambitious entrepreneur, I'm an entrepreneur myself. I don't get excited too much about the deal part of it. I get excited about the product side, which is where I spend most of my time and building products. This is my actually third company, but this is in commercial real estate. This is my second firm. I was always on the bond analytics and the quantitative side of real estate, work for multiple startups who were interfacing with large institutional investors and clients like BlackRock, LNR, Starwood. So I was the, back-end engine, software guy over there. Post that in 2013, I started a technology company that became more like an outsourcing firm. In the process, for running that business for 5 years, we became a mid-size, major, small, mid-size due diligence shop. And what we are doing today is a function of what we experience as an entrepreneur ourselves. Scaling the previous business, we saw AI is going to play a major role. So as a product guy, we started automating these process, and that was the genesis of ClikAI. Moved to Canada, opened up the New York office, a couple of years back. So we're fully focused on the US market. Very happy to say we work with some of the largest institutional investors, brokers, and banks in the market. My mission is that what we realized is that there's nothing special besides money with these large institutional shops. So if we all have those access to the products, we can almost beat them hands down, or at least compete with them who have more firepower in terms of capital. If you have the right tools, you have all the right assets and tools to go crush deals in the market. That's my belief. As an entrepreneur who's ambitious, I believe that's the same thing that resonates with you. I and Julie were talking a little bit about, how should we structure this presentation. So I picked up, very quickly, just will take 2 minutes to share a presentation to give you an overview of the company, as well as what our mission is. And post that, we'll turn over to the presentation in terms of demo. Won't take too much of time. I'm familiar with this space. So we'll do that. And after that, I'm also going to show you who are some of our competitors. These are all great companies founded by great founders and people. So no bad mouthing doing on that, but there are some differences between us and our competitors, which we like to show to our customers or potential prospects because it keeps things transparent. And we'll go from there, and we'll end the presentation with some exclusive opportunity here, which if you take a bite at this, obviously is great because a company can't be built without customers, and we're so glad that we are interfacing with you guys here. So I'm gonna open up my dashboard, my second screen, so as Julie mentioned, we are an analytics and automation suite. We're focused on automating the real estate investment and banking segment. Our understanding, while working with almost all the large investors and banks in the market, is that even today, this is a massive headache to run because a lot of processes are manual. And so what ClikAI is doing is we're plugging together a full AI automation suite that can help you run the due diligence and investment analysis at scale. Part of that mission, we started in 2018, raised money from venture capitalists, and we launched a couple of products, which for the first task that we do is we have a product that automates the entire financial modeling piece. It sounded like a novice idea, but took us almost 4 years to perfect that technology. And with that said, we'll touch upon some of the other things that are coming up in the market. So think of anything that is part of the due diligence process of a financial deal, of a deal, is like underwriting cash flows, understanding rental, doing your IRR projections, GP/LP split, how you syndicate deals. A lot of that process is on our spreadsheet, so we focus on that. And moving forward, let's say you have deals, due diligence folders being shared, so we are creating solutions around that. So let's touch upon, just a little bit overview of customers, some of the enterprise customer, because that's how we started the company. So 4 of the major brokerage shops already use across hundreds of users. Just a little overview of the traction, which is a proof of our, of our success so far. We work with almost all large institution shops. Our focus now is to go to the market and offer this tool to every small to mid segment investor, so that they all have the same ability as an institutional investor when they compete on deals. With that said, I'm gonna open up my, our flagship product right now, which is a cloud offering. So anyone with the username password can log into can get access to this software. Think of this like a broker sends you a deal, you're trying to syndicate and see how much cash on cash returns and all those processes you're gonna generate. This process of plugging the data, getting the rent rolls plugged into the spreadsheet, taking the cash flow document, and then doing all this investment analysis is a manual process. So where Clik has become one of the leading player in the market is through automation that can utilize machine learning. So think of this: if you're on a multifamily deal, healthcare, senior housing, any kind of commercial asset, we offer the largest food group of all commercial assets. How we're special is that we completely automate the process of your spreadsheet creation. So as a customer, you might be using some of the influencer, some of the property investment, influencer like Michael Blank, Synthesis, a lot of different, coach out there. So you can literally take any spreadsheet, select that spreadsheet, whichever you're using today. So your process never changes. Clik comes and completely automates that. You select the address, automatically picks up, a deal folder is created. Once a deal folder is created, you can simply drag and drop files. So I'm going to pick up a couple of rent rolls and T12s on and upload that live in front of you. So when you upload, typically brokers are sending you T12s, rent rolls in PDF format, scan document format, or a spreadsheet format. The process on ClikAI is as simple as opening up the document, making sure just you give some level of information to the software, meaning this is looks like a rental document with a couple of hundred tenants in place, and telling the software from where do you want to start your analysis of the tenants. So as long as you select that and hit the save button, tag the document correctly, the software gets to work almost instantaneously. It's going to go and normalize the entire spreadsheet for you. So when I open up the spreadsheet, it gives you an Excel lookalike environment. So it was very intentionally designed in a way that if you upload PDFs, rent roll, others, it still displays the data in a spreadsheet looking environment, because we don't want the users to get overwhelmed. This has been the status quo in the market. Everyone is on Excel. So our approach has been, let's take that Excel approach, automate that whole piece. So if you see all the tenant level information, the rent rolls, renovation, how the charge codes are structured, everything gets structured into one single row for each tenant. And then we can train you how to just quickly validate the information. If there is any extra row, you can ignore that. You can save the spreadsheet. In literally a few seconds, you would instantly get your whole occupancy summary, rent roll, unit mix summary, floor plan summary, and your bad and bad summary. Let's say this looks like bad and bad, so it's not being picked up. So what do? We go back to the spreadsheet. We just select the relevant headers and columns. That's how you navigate through the software to quickly set up your spreadsheet. So all we're doing right now here is just quickly selecting how you can output the data. So once in a few minutes, you would be able to set up the entire Excel model. And as I mentioned, you can pick up any Excel model that you use currently today without worrying about, any of the information. So that's it. You click on the button, lease trend, and you would get your entire validated document. And all this information is now structured. You can download that, look and set up all this information. We go back to the original document, and we'll structure the T12 as well. So when you see a T12, make sure you select the operating statement, select the 12 months period. And in this case, it's starting from August. So I'm going to go to the August date, select the August 2017, and that's it. My entire T12 statement will be parsed out and underwritten in a few seconds. When I open up the spreadsheet, I can go back to my extracted data spreadsheet and see the entire cash flow has been underwritten and auto-classified based on how your model is set up today in some terms of subcategories and everything. And you can go to the summary view and really calculate the true NOI of the property. And this is exactly how the lenders are structuring the information. So you can really focus more on the quality aspect of the deal, like how you're evaluating NOIs and all. If you want to open up charts, you can do that, all those things as well. At this point, your entire dashboard is ready. All you have to do is just click on the button called download model. When you click on this download model, your spreadsheet will run and will generate you the entire Excel model, which is basically your whichever model. So I've intentionally picked up a very familiar, model that you all are used to. So if you're using any of the coach's model, so it doesn't really matter what Excel model you're using. All the data from the P&L, from the rent roll, automatically gets plugged into your spreadsheet so that you can focus on the main aspect, like what's going to be my return, how much cash and cash I'm going to make. So think of this as an AI powered plugged into your spreadsheet to make the job faster. So this is one of the main product. As a company, it's been used across 30,000 deal reviews every year by a lot of enterprise customers, as well as multifamily syndicators, different kind of user groups. So over here, once you have the spreadsheet, you can simply change your scenarios and basically play around with the assumption set instead of spending hours plugging the data into a spreadsheet and come to that base model. You can create that base model in literally a few minutes as a train. So that's one of the main product. And then moving forward, what we are building is we have an appraisal digitizer in the beta. So we're expanding the product suite. So as a user, you'll have all the AI powered apps that you require to, let's say, do a multifamily lease audit, understand information across your documents, and try to be more informative and get to the deal and the important aspect faster. And that's what I wanted to focus today. And as we expand, we do have how we onboard customer. Again, it's a software. Every software needs a little bit of time to learn. So to make those things simpler for our customers, as I mentioned, we come from a services background, so we want to create that same kind of experience for the customers. So so generally the best way to experience a live environment with ClikAI is do a 7-day no obligation trial, which we will give you an entire white glove service. We'll set up your models, we'll run unlimited deals for you. You can simply come and download the model, and then that's how it is. All you have to do is, it will be as simple as clicking the button called download model. So completely up to you. You get up to 350 underwriting done for you while accessing the software. Software access is unlimited, but at a very simple price point. Now let me turn over to the competitor slide so that you have a fair understanding of what's going on in the market. So the similar products, these are some of the competitor. Want to be completely transparent here. ClikAI is funded and founded by founders, raised VC money. Some of our other competitor, Archerari, which you might be familiar as well. There's very different strike difference in the price point, because we can optimize the expense at our end. So we are offering at this an exceptional price point to the customers. Most of the other deals are at least 3 times more higher. Red IQ, which you might have heard as well, is fully owned by Berkadia. They don't market it. It's just everybody has their own strategy. We are a pure software company, and some other acquisition companies might have acquired some other competitor to kind of gain more mortgage brokerage business or investment sales brokerage, or maybe in the data space. I don't know. So, but as I mentioned, all of these companies are great, founded by very, very strong entrepreneurs. So some of the ways, how we differentiate is obviously we are across asset classes. Most of the other competitors across multifamily. We provide you a dedicated virtual analyst packaged with the software. The price point is 3 times lower. We aim to provide 24 cross 5-hour time support throughout the life cycle as a customer. How we leverage that is because we have team in Canada, New York, as well as India. And in terms of where we see the markets heading, we are at a point where we can literally take any commercial real estate document and you can gain insight of that in few seconds. That's where the state of the art technology has come to. Large language models, Chat GPT, Claude, Amazon Bedrock, they are exceptionally powerful technologies, which is gonna completely transform commercial real estate, at least from our view, a due diligence piece of a real estate deal, which otherwise you either had to outsource in the past or used to have like team of analysts or an army of FTs who would assist you in getting to the deal faster before you put the LOI. Our mission is to provide you that at a price point so that you don't have to depend on hiring more, ton of army of analysts, but let the technology play the most of part and you focus on the deal part and, more importantly, the information analysis part, instead of wasting time, hours and hours of wasting time in these manually repetitive work. And that was a thesis of us starting this company, and we hope to create an experience for you so that all of you can, make use of your time in a better way as an entrepreneur.
You got this down so much. You really appreciate it. So concise. I did have a couple questions. In your opinion, where do you see AI going? I know we talk about it in real estate, but where do you see it in life? Do you see it happening in restaurants? Do you see it happening in retail? What can we expect, and what will it do for people that are doing those jobs currently?
Yeah, I mean, it's astounding. It's so powerful. I'm just helping a friend who has built commercial real estate. He's built like, so just an example. This founder can completely, using computer vision and just one camera, can fully automate the entire, Walmart. That's the level of, so you don't need those 10 people to be sitting on the checkout stores. You only need one camera on the top. And so imagine the kind of NOI impact where you can cut down your payroll in any, in that kind of significant way. And at the same time, there's over 13% cart abandonment and people stealing stuff. You can literally cut down 10% of that. Imagine for a retail store how important. So this is just one use case. It's very hard to put like what's coming, but I'm pretty sure if you are on LinkedIn, you follow different kind of companies and tech, you can literally sparse a query and get your competitive, comparable sets right now at a query of a Google Bard. Like, you don't have to subscribe to thousands of dollars of subscriptions per month, or, just like I've read the CoStar annual report and I always keep, reading annual reports from different large publicly listed companies in commercial estate. An average annual client value of $25,000, which they charge to one particular subscriber as an average, which makes that $3 billion in revenue. Imagine you can literally do all these analysis for tools like, ClikAI or searching the internet through a large language model. It's really, really at a scale that we will only see in the future what's going to happen. But these are some of the use cases. Again, there are so many use cases. So far, as an entrepreneur, as an investor, you have to stay focused, because you need to really know what exactly you want to solve for, because the tons of solutions are out there which can do a lot of cool stuff out there.
So my question to you is, do we still need people like lenders who are underwriting it? They're throwing it into their models. I'm assuming that we still need people like humans to take a look at it, make some assumptions. What are your thoughts? And is there some challenges while you're putting it on these spreadsheets for us? What are your challenges that you see immediately that you're probably trying to change?
Yeah, so I think human loop is an extremely important piece of it. So it's not going to be a replacing agent, but it's going to be an enabling agent. For example, from a lender perspective, no loan can be passed unless an IC committee, like the whole committee passes and, passes the deal. Like I haven't worked with any lender in the past unless it's very small, where there is, before placing the debt or approving the loan, there is no investment committee meeting. Every lender I know that I've worked with always had that. So you can't really ignore the, I don't think the human will be completely taken out. I think it will be optimized instead of, so it's going to be an enabler rather than be a remover of, jobs and tasks. That's my personal view. Again, I'm coming from a very, ambitious, it's passionate, product view, because, I'm building this, I'm in the midst of all these things. So, but again, as you saw, like you need still one of a human eyes to really review the numbers, because in real estate, one big tenant can make a big difference. You can't remove that, especially in retail, office, even in multifamily. Like, NOI is the key driver besides the cap rate. So you need to really have those, set of eyes to make sure everything is 100% correct.
Good. So in saying that, we still need to understand the workflow. We also need to understand all of the dynamics of underwriting these deals, guys. This does not replace you understanding how to underwrite deals. You have the mechanics of it. It just takes it out, makes it a little faster, eases that whole process. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, you will never be able to take out the whole entrepreneur out of a deal. I mean, entrepreneur, like the person who's doing the real estate deal knows what they're doing. I feel like that's their specialty. I mean, they may be slow if they're not using most of the latest tech, but I mean, they know what they're doing. So, I don't think, you can be successful by just investing in a cookie cutter deal. I mean, there is no free lunch in the world. You have to be special in some way.
Yeah, great. All right, Paula had a question. You talked a little bit about the appraisal process. Tell me a little bit about, can you talk a little bit about the appraisal AI that you guys are going to be putting in place? Where do you see that with the other products out there? I know we have seen some of them that can actually even do comp sets, which is, AI, the appraisal AI portion of it.
Yeah. So the Clik perspective right now is we are taking this from a digitization, digital transformation perspective, meaning we work with enterprise customers. So we want to create a suite where any deal hits your desk, you have the documents, you should have the ability to digitize those documents and push it into your BI dashboards. Business knowledge, you could be on Salesforce, you could be on Google Sheet, it doesn't matter. Today, if you have to manually scrub the information, put that takes time, not a value add work. So if there is AI that can digitize that whole information, so imagine every deal that you come across on your desk, on your email, will automatically create a dashboard. I think there's value in it because there's sales comp data, there's rent comparator. I don't know any investor who's starting in a particular zip code or a area who does not build a thesis on that area. So to build that thesis, you need to look at 100, 200, maybe 500 properties. And once you have good confidence in the market and you know exactly what you want, that's when you start putting up the money on, or starting putting LOI. So how does this impact? You can create those kind of comp sets. You can create those kind of intelligence that builds confidence on it. So that's the Clik aspect. In terms of how we're looking at from how it's going to impact appraisal, is like every appraisal today has to search a database, pull those comp sets, write the summary. We have so many tools out there. AI can write the whole paragraph for you. Now, how can it be trained to write like an appraisal? That's the training part. This is what the future is. It's going to happen. And so the one who's going to use it to optimize is going to be the one who's going to be fastest. And I think and that's why we switch from calculators to computers. So it's going to happen, and it's coming, and it's already happening.
Amazing. Just tremendous.
So
Um,
if I may jump in, so it just sounds like that you're adding some of the components to stack the get to appraisal.
Exactly. So any of the manual tasks, those are the process that gonna be optimized and improved. And from there on, build more, write better reports. And how do you write it? You train it. You kind of, everybody has their own style of writing. So maybe that's where they can help them get faster. But again, now, my realm is in commercial real estate. I spend most of the time there. So these are some of the use cases I'm seeing. I'm seeing, a lot of companies being built in just one single use case. Like, for example, there are lot of heavily funded companies who are just focusing on the appraisal ordering, technology.
makes sense. So you got a lot more going on. You'd like to be a running shoe, a really good running shoe that can do a lot of good things, as opposed to a cross-training shoe that doesn't do anything very good. That's my thought. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think our focus really is on the back office and the due diligence piece. And our mission is that if we give these kind of important, fast tools to small to mid-sized customers, it might change their life, because if they're able to bid at the same level, same pace, like an institutional investor like Blackstone, I think there's value in that Click enables that entrepreneur in that way.
Absolutely agree with you. All right, can it estimate a cap rate based on location and date? That is a good one.
Cap rate based on location.
With the information that you have.
Expert on that, because Click as such does not capture any of the, or kind of like aggregates data. So that will be a tough one for me. I don't know the answer to that. Sorry.
Okay. Does AI software have any behavioral component added to it so we can predict what groups of people will do? Think of people moving to an area versus another for a myriad of reasons. Is that something that you're thinking, not necessarily with your software, but you see that happening in AI?
Oh, absolutely. That's already been happening through various software company who collects, data and footfall data based on telephone networks data. So all this a lot of lenders and a lot of companies already at an institution, these are expensive data to purchase. I mean, cost at least a firm, at least I would say an enterprise value of more than 80K to 100K per company. So all the entrepreneurs, all the small to mid-sized segment cannot afford it, obviously, because these are enterprise positions, but these kind of things are already happening.
Amazing. All right. So if it can't aggregate data yet, it cannot predict behavior of masses to move to or from one area. That's what you're saying, correct?
I think it has the capability to aggregate data. It's just the data aggregation is expensive still.
Got it.
So there is no one source of, but there is no one source of all types of data. Those big shops definitely have access to this, and they are integrating multiple APIs and buying all the data that's out there. Hedge funds have done that in the past. Almost all successful hedge funds do that. They try to get data sources from almost every software company, every data analytics provider, and that's what somehow makes them successful in a way too, because they have more insight to it. But yeah, if clients can aggregate, I do think it's going to have a huge impact in digitizing, say, county level data, or if you can access which there are being companies who are created just based on that information. You might be familiar with the Reonomy. On Reonomy now, CoStar has put that process for a very long time. Real Capital Analytics, I think they all have created very strong processes historically, how they collect sales comparable data as well as rent comparable data from multiple sources. But this is where AI is going to be tremendously helpful, because now large language models can literally, at a fire of just like a question you ask to on a Google search, it will give you exactly what you need.
Amazing.
And formats of data, PDF, Excel, scan, it's literally very exciting times in the world right now, because that manual component is being automated at a scale that we have never seen before.
Right. Well, just the pace in which it's changing and for us to be able to access is just amazing. So Alex, why don't you ask your question?
All right, I'll ask the question. Does the software include sensitivity analysis? So
Yes.
it
Any kind of
does.
Excel, yeah. So you can, as I mentioned, you can bring your own Excel model. So which I believe should already have those kind of formulas tabs in the. If not, Click does provide very advanced, Excel based templates which you can use to run different kind of modeling scenarios. Not only just multifamily syndication, you can do, from a real estate firm perspective, you can run your performas, LPGP splits, how each syndicator is gonna, what kind of cash flow returns they're gonna get, and cash on cash and whole period cap rates, all those.
That's not what I'm asking. I'm sorry. I'm asking about sensitivity analysis, for example, how the IRR would be impacted by the changes in cap rates.
Yeah, I mean, if you can change the cap rates or you backtrack it and calculates the cap rate, then it can do all those functionalities. Yes,
In a matrix-based output?
that's correct. In an Excel-based output.
In the matrix-based output, not the. I understand Excel. I understand we can change manually, but usually the advanced sponsors provide the matrix-based, where it just basically says, if my exit is, 50 basis points, 100 basis points above, then that's how my IRR is going to change.
Yeah, I suppose I can. I'm not an Excel expert, but
Okay.
we can hook you up with the trial, and you can talk to our Microsoft team and the
Okay,
product,
fair
which
enough.
will definitely help you with the all the questions in terms of Excel modeling.
Thank you.
It's fantastic. Greg, what is your question?
I think it's mainly covered. It's just really about the types of data that need to be provided manually for this whole thing. You mentioned the rate caps. I'm sorry, cap rates. I've been thinking about rate caps all day long. Cap rates, I suppose, is into not just intuition, but the insights on rent comps, renovation levels, all that kind of stuff is something that has to be kind of judged and input manually. Does it do anything as far as pulling crime, traffic counts, and there's just a few things I've thought of off the top of my head.
Yeah, so the way it's designed, we're not pulling that data. Think of this as an automation when you upload rent rolls and cash flow data and does the IRR analysis. Third-party data, ClikAI does not pull from anywhere, because as soon as we provide that feature, it goes well beyond the price point that we aim to offer at. So it's a productivity play. It's a productivity software which automates your existing Excel modeling workflow.
Fantastic. There needs to be something like this. What is it? Red IQ. You have to use their model. If you didn't learn on their model, that was a problem for many people. So I love that about Clik.ai, that you can bring your own spreadsheet and have the information input into it. Again, it's not going to eliminate you from underwriting or from making sense of it. I think that's the big key. We still need you to take a look at it and base it on comps on your own. Now, listen, you could go out and spend $20,000, which I think Archer is, or some of the other ones that he had showed us, and that would be your choice. But that's on a higher level, right? This is for folks that are buying a 2 million, 3 million, 10 million, maybe 15, 20 at best, right? And after that, you might need to get a little bit more skilled.
Yeah. And like one of the reasons we haven't really, it's just a function of plugging APIs. The challenge is that we're not sure all the data is absolutely, because when we talk to customers, they have multiple subscription for multiple, for one particular zip code, they have to pull it from CoStar, from another, they have to go somewhere else. So we're not sold yet on that there is one solution where we can subscribe to and kind of plug their APIs. It would be, to answer the question, do you provide rent comps and sales comp? can we do it? Yes, we can. But how quality information would that be? We're not sure just yet. We have heard stories that when we go to the property's website, they actually have completely different data from one of the leading player who's providing those kind of data points. So at the end of the day, we want you to build your own thesis, but any manual piece that you're focused on is where we want to create some efficiencies.
Fantastic. All right, Paula, what's your question?
So I was about to type another question in, so it's just everything that Prog says leads to another question. If I think he's answered it already, because he said that the software does not aggregate human data yet, but I suspect that over time, as it gets more data, it's going to start to do that on its own because it's active learning. So for instance, if you have one part of the country that's being exited, so right now we know the West Coast is being exited, or if you have a hurricane that comes and then you predict, oh, we get about 2 hurricanes in this area per year, is the computer AI program going to say, well, based on this, your insurance rates may be higher or something such as that? Also, another thing that I noticed, the data is only as good as you put it in on the date you put it in. I mean, like for instance, today on an OM, we were checking comps and the comps were $500 per month off on rents. And so I'm not saying that realtor was lying, but I'm just saying that on the date they put the data in, it may have been that high and now it's not, for whatever market forces there are. So you're still that 15% of your own intelligence that you have to kick in and use to make the deal happen. So.
Yeah, I think as we roll out the entire suite and bring the applications, these are the nuances you're going to be able to capture, because you'll be able to ask those questions directly through the entire due diligence folder. And then the AI will go and give you exactly the right match. It will obviously give you the list of best matches, and it's up to the user to find which one is satisfy their exact question better. However, having said that, whatever data you upload, it does automatically, put that into an Excel template and try to create your NOI level data as well as rent roll unit mix. But as we evolve as a company, as a product, we are looking to package all those kind of powerful applications so that the due diligence process, gets more faster and more you have more confidence in the entire repository of the documents rather than just a rental and a T12 or cash flow document.
Just imagine how fast this is going to be, you guys. I mean, like 20 seconds, it's done. I mean, you can't get any faster doing it yourself, and you're probably going to have some mistakes, simply put. I'm sorry, what were you going to say, Paula?
I was going to ask if he's fully funded, if he's just working with angels, or is he gone public yet? Where is he in the venture process?
Yeah, we raised a seed round, a couple of years back. We're profitable now, so we're looking to scale the business at this point of time.
Yeah.
And self-sufficient so far. All we're looking for is expanding our customer base, because these are the experience we want to have rather than going and hitting the mark in terms of fundraise. I think from fundraise perspective, we're fine just now.
That's wonderful.
All right, Ed Valdez, what do you got?
I was just curious if by uploading the T12 and rent roll into Clik, if you're able to identify any anomalies that may show up, again, due to human error or some kind of error, I guess, in the T12 or the rent roll. Is that something that ClikAI would be able to help identify or call out?
Yeah, so one of the feature we have here is that if you're tracking one particular market and you want to aggregate that and compare against the average of the market on last couple of deals, you can. You want to compare cash flow line item by line item or per unit basis, or based on a rental unit mix, you can across multiple deals. On top of that, in terms of how you can tweak the month by month variances, yes, we do. That's a separate product which I did not show you today because had a limited time. So we wanted to show you our most actively used product, which most of the enterprise and customer base is using.
Good. All right, anybody else before we close up and go on to networking? This has been amazing. So one more time, for those folks that want to come on board with you and take a test drive, can you give us one more understanding of what that looks like? How do we do it? We want to give you, obviously, positive feedback, negative feedback. That's how you get better.
Yep.
So we appreciate that.
Yeah, so the offering is quite simple. We have a very simple offering, which is we'll get you on a 7-day trial. During that 7-day trial, you have the full virtual analyst support as well. So you'll be provided with an email address where if you are running for deals and you want the team to do it for you, it could be as simple as, clicking on the button and downloading the model next day. While in the process, you can also learn the software and upload the T12s, run through and do it yourself. But our most successful and the best way it works for customers as well, when they don't have to worry about uploads and everything, ClikAI's team can do it for you. You can also use your analyst to do it for for you. You can, if you learn the software, sure. And as I mentioned, we sell it for at 8,500 per year, which gives you 350 white glove service deal underwriting. So literally think of this: every month you can have my team do up to 40 deals for you, while you also have the access to the software. And on top of that, because it's a privileged opportunity for me to be here, so I'm fully taking off 1,700 for the entire year. So 8,500 slashed into 6,800 for the year. This might or might not be, out of the budget for someone. So if you have challenges with that, just let me know. And my goal is to, have more experiences with entrepreneurs like you. So pretty flexible on that front. But that's what I think is a great deal. And if you want somebody, again, let's not talk about the deal. Let's talk about if you want to get on a trial. Just I can share my email address. This is my email address. My first name @ my company's domain name, CLIK. Remember, not CLICK, CLIK.ai, and I will get you started right away.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Parag, so much for coming to join us. It's been invaluable. And I really see this as a great tool for so many of us in the room. I hope that you all take advantage of this. Do the 7 days, see if it works for you. There's always something that can be done better than what you're doing. And here's an opportunity to take advantage of that. So again, thank you, Parag, for joining us.